Zidane Danny, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Nerd Chat here on Electro Ninja's Lab. I am here with my fellow host,
I'm Jack.
and we have realized that we were probably not going to be able to do a New Year's special directly on New Year's Day, or New Year's Eve. So we thought we would just briefly have a nerd chat where we are going to be talking about everything, just random stuff that we're excited for 2026, because hopefully this is going to be a better year than this year. That's all I hope for. What do you think? Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I don't know.
I agree.
Yeah, we need this to be a better year than 2025. A lot of shit happened this year. But yeah, let's just talk about things that we're excited for, because it's a new year, and we're gonna obviously a lot of stuff is gonna be happening in this new year. I think the anime specifically. I do want to bring up a bit of that, because it's kind of a passing of the torch for a lot of anime, because My Hero Academia just ended with a special that's coming out in spring, that is going to basically be the final conclusion, like because there was a chapter that wasn't in the regular release, and you had to get the actual volume in order to read it. Um, and there was some more stuff as well with that. So that's gonna be so My Hero is mostly done. It just has like one little extra bit that we're gonna get to see relatively soon, in April. But also a lot of anime are leaving. Doctor Stone is almost done. Demon Slayer is almost done. I think there's a lot of different ones that are like the big anime of for a while now are all coming to an end. But a lot of new ones are coming in, and many of them have been things that we have been keeping an eye on since they started showing up. For an example, one of the things that I'm really excited for is The Invisible Man and His Soon to Be Wife, which is coming out in January. Um, there's also there was something else that was really cool. Um, Reincarnated as a Dragon Hatchling. Uh, Frieren season 2 is coming out. Oshinoko season 3. All sorts of different things are coming out. The January is actually like one of the least stacked of the anime seasons this year. But spring is where it's at, because like Snowball Earth is getting an anime adaptation. Daemons of the Shadow Realm is getting an anime adaptation. Witch Atelier is finally getting its anime adaptation. Rooster Fighter is getting an anime adaptation. Ascendance of a Bookworm is starting its next part. Finally, Tale of the Secret Saint, and a few others. I don't know all of them because there's just way too many, and we know that there's going to be more that we just don't even know about. So, yeah, it's. I think it's gonna be basically a passing of the torch this year, when it comes to a lot of anime. Some of them have already started. Some of them are just getting started, and we're gonna be seeing a lot of new animes basically taking the front seat for a while, because many of our other things are coming to an end. Um, so yeah, I'm excited to say the least. What about you, Jack? Any anime that I just mentioned stand out to you?
Obviously, my favorite is Witch Hat Atelier. I love Witch Hat Atelier.
Yeah, it's gonna be so much fun to see that coming back, and finally getting an anime adaptation. Honestly, it deserved an anime adaptation a long time ago, and I'm glad that they're finally doing that. And we've known that it was gonna get one for a while. I think like um, they had planned to originally release it in 2024, and it's just
Yeah.
been held back so much. I'm hoping that that's because the author really wanted to make sure that this was the perfect adaptation and didn't want anything cut out. Um, Especially since it is. When I was first reading it, I didn't fully see all of the LGBT stuff in there, but then as I continued it, it really came to mind just how much of it is. So yeah, it is a very much an LGBT anime. So it's gonna be. I'm sure she doesn't want any of that to be cut. She wants to make sure that the actors are really good actors, both in English and in Japanese. So there's probably a lot of that. Um, so I don't know. I'm excited, and I think that when it comes out, we are going to be ecstatic to read through it and or watch it, I should say. um, but yeah, that's coming before too long. So yay. And then also like some other things are coming eventually. We've gotten confirmation of Weakest Tamer getting a second season. Um, and many of the bigger ish animes have been confirmed to be getting other seasons. It's just going to be a little bit more time. Um, so I don't know. We'll see what exactly happens when it comes to anime. Um, but I do, like I said, I think the next few years, I think, are going to be a passing of the torch situation. Um, I think that there are a few anime that do stand a pretty good chance of taking the place of things like My Hero Academia, um, freaking Jujutsu Kaisen's kind of already passing of the torch from Demon Slayer, but something replacing Demon Slayer, something replacing Doctor Stone, something replacing like all of these other things. There's a lot, and like probably also something for the passing of the torch of One Piece is probably going to be happening sooner or later. Um, which I don't really know what that's going to be, but they're approaching their end, which is insane to think about. It has been going pretty much non-stop for years, and it's finally getting its I think it's pausing for a bit, and then it's gonna come back exactly when we don't know. But either way, I'm ecstatic. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, I think probably the bigger thing to be talking about is some changes to some big games. Firstly, I want to briefly mention Minecraft. So Jack, until I told you about this, were you aware of how things are changing with Minecraft?
Nope.
Okay. So yeah. So Minecraft is changing their numbering system, which personally I think it's a good thing. Um, it's no longer going to be the 1.21 point whatever blah 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 blah. It's going to be the year and then the release, whatever the release is. So for example, we're going to be I think right after um probably like right away we're going to be getting 26.0, which is basically going to be a bug fix dealy bob for Mounts of Mayhem, and it's going over like a whole bunch of different stuff. Because in the apparently in the Bedrock previews they've already gotten that. Um, and then when it comes to Java, it's going to be eventually we're going to get 26.1, and that's going to be whatever our big update is. Which personally I think it's a good idea. How do you feel about that the change?
I think it's gonna be good because then we'll know like really what's going on with each thing, and it won't be so cumbersome to say.
Yeah, that's true because it's basically like It's just going to be 26.1, 26.2, 26.3, 26.4, blah, 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 blah. And it's not going to be much more than that. I think that Bedrock is going to have a little bit more than that, because they get more updates just due to the way that Bedrock is. But it's also going to be a lot less confusing because it's like 26.21.11 blah 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 blah. And it's like, especially with before, it was like, yeah, the first number was like the official release, and then the second number was the big update, with the smaller number being basically little updates to occasionally add feature, but mostly it was just for bug fixes and stuff. But then when they switched over to the drop system, they just kept it in 21 and just kept going up and up and up with the number. So hopefully that this is going to fix things. We'll see how well it works. But yeah, as far as we're aware, there's nothing really to know about what is going to be the next update after Mounts of Mayhem, which I'm kind of surprised about, because I was expecting them to give us at least a little hint towards the next drop in the recent update that they did. But instead we got Mounts of Mayhem. So, yeah, I don't know. It's whatever. And then I think we should also talk about a little bit about Pokemon. So, obviously Mega Dimension just released. And people are still going to be playing through it. I have fully played through it on stream. Jack, you are just now starting it, right?
Yeah.
So, and that's fine. That it's going to take a we'll let you finish that, and then once you have, then cool, yay. And yeah, there's going to be a few more books that are going to be releasing. And stuff like that. But when it comes to Pokemon specifically, do you think there's like been this theory that there's going to be one more DLC for the for Mega Dimension? Do you think that's accurate? Do you think that's going to be true?
No, I don't know. I can hope so. But honestly, I have no idea. Honestly, yeah. I wish I did.
Yeah.
And I've heard the rumors about it. If there is one, I hope it doesn't cost money.
Yeah. I mean, knowing them, it probably will, no matter what the case is. But, yeah. I don't know. I feel like if they're going to do another piece of DLC, it's gonna be something that's basically just there to tide us over until Gen 10 releases. Because,
yeah,
honestly, I don't think that they should be doing any more in-game stuff until the or any more DLC or anything like that until Pokemon Day, whatever the case is. And we do know that there are going to be some more seasons as things go on. Just for an example, we know that the Hoenn starters, Mega Evolutions, we're going to be getting those through their online seasons before too long. So that's one thing. We know that there is a Mega Garchomp in the files, but we don't know where it is. It has not been released, so what exactly it is, we have no idea. Where you can get it, all that jazz, no idea. It's not my guess as to what it is that it could be something that's going to be a season, one of those online season battle things, probably like the one after the starters is done. But I don't know.
That would make sense.
And I think that's when it comes to when those seasons are going to be finishing, I think that the last season that they're doing will be ending like right around Pokemon Day. So there might just be like, hey, here's the last season, and this season is going to give you Mega Charizard Z. Or not Charizard. Mega Garchomp Z. Sorry, I hope I haven't been saying Charizard this entire time.
You've not. You've
Okay,
said Garchomp.
good. Yeah, here's Mega Garchomp Z for Pokemon Day. Go and get it. Have fun. And this is going to be the last release for the game until until the next game comes out. Enjoy the game until that time. And here's the announcement for Gen 10, which is probably going to release at the end of the year.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, this is the 30th anniversary, right?
Yep.
So I imagine that there's probably going to be a lot of things that are going to get revealed at Pokemon Day this year.
One can only hope.
Yeah. My guess is for what they might do is because of the fact that we are doing that they do have the GameCube stuff on the Switch. That game probably the GameCube games will probably be releasing throughout this year. Specifically, the whatchamadoodle, Coliseum and XD. Those are probably going to be releasing at some point this year. My guess is that might be on Pokemon Day. As like a, hey, we know you've been patient. Here you go. Have fun. Enjoy these games, and you can transfer these Pokemon into into the rest of your games or whatever. Because that is something that I feel like they were probably worried about pretty significantly. I think that another possibility for something that they might reveal is maybe all of the Pokemon games, all of the main series Pokemon games, will be getting like ports onto the as like digital ports onto the main systems, onto the Switch and the Switch 2, and like you'll be able to play it. You'll be able to transfer all of their Pokemon into Pokemon Home. And maybe it will go all the way to Gen 5. Maybe even Gen 6 and 7. Because at this point... because everything... up pretty much there... right now there is a gap. Anything that was in Alola or earlier, you can't transfer it up to the Switch games anymore.
Nope.
If you were lucky and you got Pokemon Bank back when it was around, then you can do that. But there is no legal way to do that anymore. Apparently there are ways to pirate it and get it into your system so you can transfer things over. But I'm not going to risk that. No, thank you. So... yeah, it's basically this massive gap because of the way that they handled Pokemon. Well, specifically Nintendo handled that system, getting rid of the Nintendo eShop on there. So, oh well, holy shit, we're fucked. So yeah, if you don't have Pokemon Bank, then you can't transfer things from Alola up anymore, which, like I said, sucks. So I would like to see something where, hey, we know you can't get these games onto your system anymore, onto the Switch anymore. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to release every single game onto the Switch at a slightly cheaper price, at like a cheaper price. Maybe it's like $20 for like a pack of games. So like the original, so like the Game Boy games are like a pack where it's red, blue, yellow. If you're or maybe even maybe it includes all of them, maybe all of the versions and stuff, and it will be a pack. For Kanto, a pack for Johto, a pack for Hoenn, a pack for Sinnoh, so on and so forth. And it's basically every game from said generation. So once you get to the Hoenn games, not only do you get the 3 Hoenn games, but you also get Fire Red and Leaf Green. Then when you get to and then for Gen 4, you also get Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and $20. Like, that's not too bad for all of the games. And for one, I think that one of the things that could do is it might also lower the price for getting some of the older ones. Because, like, the original Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, hundreds of dollars if you want to purchase any of them.
Oh, definitely.
So, and like, I would love to play Platinum. I have never played Platinum. I have only played Pearl. And I cannot get any of them because they are hundreds of dollars. And I also can't get Black or White 2, which I actually, now that I'm actually starting to like Gen 5 again, I would love to try out Black and White 2. I've played Black and White, or I've played White, I should say. I didn't play Black. And I would like to actually get around to playing those games. But unfortunately, you can't right now. So, different things that they could do.
Black.
Yeah. So you have Black?
I used to. I lost it in a move.
Oh, that's another reason. It sucks because you can't play if you lost one of these games or you sold it foolishly, you no longer can play these games. And it's sad. It's sad to say that you can't play all of these games. So yeah, move I mean, they've done it for the Game Boy games. I think even the Game Boy Color games, Heart Gold and Soul Silver. So transfer everything. So move everything from the 3DS onto the DS, or onto the Switch, I should say. And maybe move everything. I'm fine if it takes a while. Like maybe start off with Gen 1 and 2, and then move on to Gen 3, then move on to Gen 4, move on to Gen 5, then Gen 6, and maybe like do this over the next few years. As like, hey, these are now on the Switch and the Switch 2, and we have worked with Nintendo to basically make sure that these games are going to transfer to whatever system that you have, and you will also be able to put all of these Pokemon into Pokemon Home and all that jazz. I think that would be fun. I think that would be really good.
That would be amazing.
It would be so amazing if they actually did that. Are they going to do it? Probably not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah. In terms of like video games that we know about are coming, honestly, I don't know much off the top of my head. I'm looking through the website. I believe that Animal Crossing's New Horizons, the Switch update, the Switch 2 update, that's coming in January. Looks like that's going to be the 15th. I think that, yeah, Final Fantasy VII, the Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to the Switch too, on the 22nd. Oh, Dispatch is coming to the Switch.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, you might want to check that out at some point. So that is going to be on the 28th. So, yeah, something that you might want to look into, especially since you liked when we played through the first episode, right?
Yes.
Cool. And that way you can also see like the uncensored version because we didn't want to show that. If you want. But then yeah, in February we're getting the last My Hero Academia game, which is going to be the fighter, but it's going to have every single character finally. So that's fun. Maybe not every character, but most of the characters that have been in there are going to be getting stuff. High on Life 2 is coming out in February, which I didn't play High on Life 1, so I don't know if I care. But yeah. Not much is really standing out. Pokopia, obviously, that's coming out on the 5th of March. So, yay! Um, and we also know that a new Coffee Talk game is coming out. So that sounds fun. It's going to be in Tokyo, so it's going to be different. A lot of Japanese and Middle East or not Middle Eastern, Eastern lore creatures. So like we're probably going to see Tanukis and stuff in that.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So did you ever play the Coffee Talk?
No.
Okay. I've played the first one and I have the second one. I just haven't actually gotten around to playing through the entire game. So yeah, it's a fun little cute game that you can. It's a cozy game, easy peasy. There's a few other games that are really that look interesting, but I'm not really certain exactly if we want to talk about them yet. In April, oh. The Invincible game is coming out in April. Which I don't think I care. It just looks weird to me. I don't think that the 3D really does does those characters justice. So, yeah. And then also Saros is coming out. I don't know how to feel about that. In May, we're getting the 007 game, as well as Lego Batman. And then that's pretty much it. We know that there are other games that are coming out. But the thing is, with especially at this point, it's hard to say what games are going to be coming out until it actually gets revealed. Because there's a lot of games that like are coming. We just don't know when. And there are also games that people are like, please let it come out soon. And yeah. Phasmophobia is apparently coming to the Switch too, which I think might be fun for the two of us to play. Even though it is a horror game. But yeah. Pokemon Champions is coming out eventually. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. In terms of movies, though, both Supergirl and Avengers Doomsday are coming out this year. Yeah. So that's gonna be fun. As is Spider-Man. There's gonna be a new Hunger Games movie. I don't know if any of these other movies are really that. Oh, that's right. I was not ready for that. Okay, we'll come back to that for a sec. So of the things I mentioned, so the superhero movies and Hunger Games, are you excited for those at all?
I'm not a big Hunger Games fan, but and I'm a little tired of Avengers over and over and over again. But we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the big problem with with a lot of these movies when it comes to the Marvel movies is that it feels like you have to watch every single one of them. And like for people who love these, like myself, I think it's great. But I also know that not everyone wants to watch every single Avengers movie and show and Marvel everything. People should be able to pick their characters. And I'm hoping that Doomsday is going to look at that and be like, okay, there are going to be references to other characters in these, but you do not have to watch everything if you want to understand the story. I'm hoping that they're going to do that and figure out a way so that you can pick and choose. And it's not going to be like, this movie that you may not care about is setting up this other movie. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Because I think that will make people be more willing to watch a lot of these things. So I'm hoping that that Doomsday and Secret Wars, I think, is what's coming after that. those two are probably going to hopefully make things a little bit better. I don't know. We'll see. But I am excited for Brand New Day. That looks there's so much debate over who Sadie Sink is playing. So, yeah. Um yeah. And also when it comes to the Hunger Games, I don't care either. I just thought that you cared a little bit more than I do. Oh, so that's why I was bringing that up. Okay. Now, let's talk about the other thing, another thing that's coming out, another movie, Narnia. We don't know exactly what it's going to be, but there's going to be a Narnia Netflix series. I believe it's going to be it's going to be Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is what they're going to do first. How do you feel about that?
Would do it more justice.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think there's like any information about this yet. We just know that it's coming. It's in post production. Is there any information about this? I do not see anything about this. Oh, no, wait. Daniel Craig is playing Uncle Andrew? So it's not.
Huh.
It's not Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe. It's Magician's Nephew. And Emma Mackey is playing the White Witch. Huh. Okay. I don't know if this is like fully accurate, but and apparently like Carey Mulligan and Denise Go are going to be in there, but they don't say who their characters are. Huh. That's going to be interesting. But there's like no information about this, so I don't want to go too much in depth with that. But if it's gonna be Magician's Nephew, that's gonna be interesting. Because we've never seen that get adapted. That and A Horse and His Boy and Last Battle are the only three of the movie, or the only three of the books that have never been adapted for the big screen. Or any screen, I should say.
Yeah.
So, that's interesting. And it would be nice to see, like, if they actually do this well. I'm hoping that that's going to be yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be good. If that happens well, if they do it well, we might finally be able to see Last Battle and freaking Horse and His Boy actually get adapted. And also like a version of Silver Chair that is not from BBC. Because that's currently the only way that you can see that movie is through the BBC version. And it's fine. It's just like really old at this point. So, yeah. But yeah, Star Wars Mandalorian and Grogu is getting that movie's coming out at some point this year. Super Mario Galaxy is getting that movie is coming out this year. Why is there another Toy Story movie?
I have no idea, but I know the villain is an iPad.
Yeah. That's concerning. I'm not ready for that. I don't even think I watched 4. So
Toy Story 4 is pretty good. I will say that.
yeah. The main reason I haven't watched it is just because there's so many of them. It's the same reason I don't want to watch the new Shrek movie when it comes out.
Fair.
And I also haven't watched, I think, the second Puss in Boots movie. The recent one with the dog. It was the second one,
I don't
right?
even think I knew there was a second one.
Huh? You didn't even know that there was? Okay.
No.
Okay. Um. Oh, Violent Night is getting a sequel.
Huh.
Um. I don't know if you saw that. Uh.
Nope.
Okay. It's a really good movie. It's basically Santa Claus ends up in a house where a kid and his family are being attacked. And Santa basically saves the entire family while beating the shit out of the bad guys. And also
Nah.
Santa is played by Hopper from Stranger Things. So yeah, that's fun.
Nice.
He did a really good job. I love him as Santa. It was just hilarious. Um, oh my gosh, they're making another Jumanji movie, which I didn't even know. There's so many of these. Please stop it. Please stop. I don't care about the Jumanji movies. So,
Literally.
like the original, good. The all of the next level bullshit is just please stop. Please stop. Um but yeah, and then Moana is getting a live action bullshit. We're not watching that. We refuse to watch that.
Nope.
That is so bullshit. Um Clayface is getting a movie, which
What's that?
one of Batman's villains.
I'm not a big Batman fan, so I have no idea what that is.
Basically he's made out of clay and he changes his shape to look like various different people.
Oh, nice.
So it looks interesting. It's going to be in the new DC universe, so that looks fun. I'm actually ecstatic for that. Um, uh, Cat in the Hat is getting a new movie, but who cares? Hoppers is coming out, which we did discuss a little bit about that we were kind of interested in that, especially since that's what the lizard meme is referencing. So is getting people prepared
Yeah.
for. So I kind of do want to see that just so that I can say that I saw it. So
It does look kind of good.
yeah. Um. So that's coming out. Uh, why is there another Minions movie? No one cares. Um. No idea what that is. I don't know. There's a lot of different movies. And I don't know how to feel about them. Um, and like I'm seeing like a whole bunch of things that are like, oh, this is gonna be I'm looking from the popular to see like what if anything immediately stands to mind. But nothing is really catching my attention from here. So yeah. There are some movies that I'm excited about, and I think that there's going to be a lot of fun things that we're going to be discussing as time goes on. Um, but especially when it comes to movies and video games and stuff like that. Um, in terms of what is happening with books, though, I really don't know. I don't think that there's not going to be a new Skandar book this year, as far as we're aware. Um, I don't believe that there's going to be a in fact, I don't think yeah, so none of the books from A.F. Stedman are coming out this year, which is reasonable. I mean, she just had her baby, so that's let her have some family time. So there's that. With and her new series is going to be starting in 2027, which is adult apparently. I don't know how to feel about that. Are there any books that you're ecstatic for the new year?
Yes. There is a book by my favorite author, Andrew Joseph White, and it's going to be called You're No Better, and it's about this kid whose dad was a serial killer.
Huh.
Um, he's got to prove to this documentarian that he is better than his father.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not 100% certain on exactly. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe. Let me know how it is, then, and we'll. Yeah.
It comes out in fall 2026.
So that's gonna be a while.
Yep.
Probably a lot of the books that we're excited for, that we're gonna be excited for, are gonna be later in the year, because a lot of books just came out. So, yeah. Apparently there is a book coming out this month, by T. Kingfisher, Nine Goblins: A Tale of Low Fantasy and High Mischief, which, if you've read any of their books, you know that they're really fun. That's kind of a kind of children's books, but also kind of not. It's weird. That was the one that I think I told you about. Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I might check that out, but I'm not certain. So yeah, there's that. There probably will be another Impossible Creatures book. There will probably be another Dragon Ship series book. I think that the certain dragon series that we will not be talking about is getting another book. But I'm not certain. But yeah, so those are some things. Like I said, I don't think there shouldn't be anything from A.F. Stedman this year. Well, I shouldn't say nothing. There is some stuff coming to that's coming out from her, but it's stuff that we can't get because it's only in Britain.
Which sucks.
It really does. And like, granted, they're smaller things, so it's not like as bad, but I don't know. I think they're like specifically for special releases. Yeah, because Secret Element, Skandar and the Secret Element, that's coming out next year, but it's not going to be here in America. It's only going to be in or not in why am I saying Japan? In England specifically. I think that there's some other things that she's also working on. Obviously Timeless is coming out in 2027. Wait. Right? Or is it? Maybe it's coming out this year. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, this is saying March. One thing is saying March 2027. Another thing, like, older, is saying September 2026. I think that's the old one. So I think that that was back when she thought that it was going to be releasing this year. My guess as to why it got delayed is because of the fact that she's pregnant. Well, she was pregnant and now has a baby. So you kind of have to deal with when a kid comes, you have to deal with that.
Yep.
There's a lot that goes into that, but yeah. But yeah, in terms of like Skandar and the Secret Element, I wish that was coming here to America, because
Agreed.
it's like, from what I understand, it is basically part of, it's basically just going over the stuff that happened in the first book in Unicorn Thief, but from a different perspective.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's an interesting concept with when you're dealing with that sort of thing, because you really don't see, from anyone's perspective but Skandar. And it'd be nice to actually see what other people, just the random people all around them, are thinking about during this time. Because, like, especially from someone who didn't even know that there was a secret fifth element, because I believe it's coming from what's his name, right?
Who?
His the friend, the guy that wanted to date Kenna, right? Albert.
Albert.
Yeah, I think it's through Albert's perspective, and it's like, huh, that's an interesting idea, and like, especially since he did have to leave he had to leave so early. It might allow us to also see like other perspectives than just, oh yeah, this is the frickin' this is like all that's going on that he sees from Skandar during that time, but also all of the stuff that he sees outside of the school, because we don't get to see much outside the school until Skandar and his friends are literally on the run. So
That's right.
I don't know. It looks exciting to me, and I for one am really ecstatic to see if that will ever come to the States, or maybe we'll just move to the to Europe if things keep going the way they're going. That's kind of a joke, but also kind of not. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about something else then. But yeah, there's a lot that to be excited about for this year, with the way as the games continue. I think by the end of the year, we will probably be seeing the new expansion for Final Fantasy with 8.0. That is a definite possibility. I'm hoping that some more games are going to be coming to the Switch that have been exclusive to other consoles soon. Specifically, could you obviously we just talked about how Dispatch is coming to the Switch, but what if Marvel Rivals or Final Fantasy finally came over to the Switch? I think that would be really cool. Exciting. Yeah. And especially I think that it could be really fun to discuss that. And I would love especially if Final Fantasy came to the Switch, or some way that you were actually finally able to play it. I think it would be a lot of fun for us to go through and play the game together for the first as you go through the story, and seeing your perspective on especially the first 3 expansions, because I'll say it right now, don't get don't actually buy the game until you are certain that you want to play it. Just play the free to play. So, yeah. Because you'll have a lot of stuff that you'll be able to do in the free-to-play up until, like, level 70. And possibly up to 80, depending on when they release this. So, yeah. I don't know. That's just that's my thought. I'm hoping that they will be releasing that soon. I'm also really hoping that when it comes to like Marvel Rivals coming to the Switch, that is the next update for that for Marvel Rivals is in January. I believe January 16th, which is insane. That is an insane day because there is so much happening that day. So that is, I believe that is when the next update happens for Final Fantasy. Or maybe, is it that day? I don't know if it's that day, but it's soon. It's very, very soon that Final Fantasy is getting its update. But the 16th is when we get the next update for Marvel Rivals. It's when I think there's something for Pokemon that's happening that day. I think that like a whole bunch of series are starting that day. Especially when that's what I'm thinking of. A whole shit ton of anime are starting on January 16th. Specifically, I want to double check this. Yeah, so Freerun is starting. Freerun. That's the big one. That's gonna be crashing the internet for a bit. Because Freerun season 2 is coming out on January 16th. So yay. Watch while it explodes the internet for a bit. Ay. That's gonna be absolutely insane. I think, Freerun is still holding strong as the number 1 anime on my anime list. So,
Wow.
I will say with complete certainty that Freerun is probably going to break the internet when its season 2 launches. So, yeah. I'm excited. There's a lot to be excited about this year. So, hopefully it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. What about you?
I think I'm a little scared to say 2026 is going to be our year, but on the other hand, there's always the possibility that shit will get better.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this when it comes to 2026. I'm not promising that it's going to be a good year. But I think that in terms of media, in terms of video games, movies, shows, and books, there's a lot to be excited about. And even if the rest of the world is on fire, at least there's something that will be able to help us get through it. Because the rest of the world is probably going to be on fire for the rest of the year. So, might as well just sit back and pray that things get better. While trying to have fun with your video games, your movies, your shows, and whatever else. Because holy shit, things are about to get bad. I don't know.
Yep.
Let's just pray that this year gets better, because holy crap, 2025 was a really shit year. Please let 2026 be a good year. That's all we ask for. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, he's been Jack, and we will see you guys next time. But on